All right, we are back from the break, and there was a brief discussion about uh, some spells and invisibility purge that might be cast, as well as trying to find this potential invisible opponent that you had on your ship. Leva and Finn, you guys were discussing that. You want to share with the viewers?
Yes. Finn, where would you put the area of perch invisibility, and how many of those do you have?
I have two available at the moment.
Hmm.
They do take some time to cast, but I am thinking possibly putting it right there.
Oops, I didn't see anything. Can you do that again?
On the officer's deck.
Ah, I see it. I see it.
Yep.
Yes.
That way I can kind
Uh-huh.
of cover the stairs, I can cover the
Hmm.
passageway.
So, somebody who is invisible still needs the space, correct?
Meaning that they're a physical presence?
Yes.
Yes.
Loftul isn't here, so I can ask him, but maybe somebody else knows. Does a thief or whatever Loftul is? Sorry, we don't know that. Does Loftul have enhanced hearing?
Well, he's an elf, so he does have enhanced hearing from that. I mean, you do too. He
Hmm.
is trained at listening.
Okay.
Hey, can't Tayan smell people?
Limited.
Right.
And he does give you a somewhat better sense of smell as well, Leva.
Hmm. Okay.
And once he's done casting, Finn could change form into something with a better sense of smell as well.
Hmm.
Oh, can Finn turn into a bat?
He could.
So, like, if Finn turned into a bat, would Finn be able to see invisible people with sonar, or does it make you invisible to that as well? Or do you have to try it to find out?
That would be
Um,
all.
so yeah, you could ish. The problem is that actual bat echolocation is like the spell Bat Sense gives you a very very fine ability to sense objects, essentially see physical things that prevent the movement of sound, sort of thing. Bats aren't quite that good because they
Right,
use it more to detect. I mean, because bats can actually still see and stuff like that. So,
right.
and it depends on the bat. Some bats are
Fair
better at
enough.
that than others.
I just thought Braxa could be chasing a bat around the ship with Finn going, eek, eek, eek. Braxa going, I don't know what you're saying.
I mean, it's
Uh,
certainly something that you could try. If there was a an invisible barrier, yeah, Finn would have no trouble, uh, noticing that's existence. Um, an invisible person who's like pressing themselves up against the wall in a corner, he might have a harder time finding that just because I don't know how sensitive it would be to something like that.
mm,
If a hallway is empty and an invisible person is running down it, yeah, he would pretty easily be able to find that person.
I'm thinking a canine form is better for this.
Yeah.
mhm.
Cool. Okay.
So,
Um,
Lewa would like to go through the ship from top to bottom, or
well,
bottom to top, and look at into every room and check out every corridor, walk down every corridor, making noise in the very beginning to let whoever could be there know that we are looking for them.
well, be- before we do this, if Finn's going to turn into a dog, could we maybe agree on a communication signal that wasn't me having my face licked?
Isn't that the best signal?
I could bite your ankle.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose you could. I mean, getting my face licked would probably be preferable to having my ankle nibbled.
Oh, he didn't say nibble. He said bite.
Yeah, he did say bite, didn't he? I
Yeah.
mean, he was a lot nicer before.
I mean, you yourself declined the face licking.
That is true.
Well, first of all, for the this invisibility purge, is it just invisibility purge, or is it the glyph of warding?
Just invisibility purge.
Okay. So let's go ahead and how long does it take to cast that?
1 turn.
Okay. And does it have a duration or is it instantaneous?
Duration of 1 turn per level.
Okay.
Right.
So 8 turns.
All right, and then thus anyone who's invisible who passes through that would become visible.
Right.
Okay. I would suggest starting from the top in that case and have some people around there ready to, because someone may, if you start at the top and you're going down, someone may preemptively decide, oh, let me get as far away from that as possible or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait.
Solas is waiting near the invisibility purge area, ready if the invisible creature walks into the area.
Okay.
So Leva has 2 detect invisibilities. That makes it a total of, it's 5 rounds per level, which is not as much as the purge.
No, but that's still pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So do you like the sound of that starting at the top?
Yes.
Okay.
And making noise, Braxton, would you come with? So we can
Yep.
talk about that we want to hurt. What do we want? We want to find the person who is there invisibly.
Yeah. When we're on the top deck, I'm thinking Braxton might go up the sail, up the mast.
Mm-hmm.
Get someone to go up the mast.
Or we could send somebody from the crew up there, couldn't we?
We could do, yeah. We haven't got crow's nests on any of our masts.
They're not really big enough to typically have one.
No, but
Okay.
do they have a boom for attaching a sail to, or
Sure.
is
Yeah.
it right? So someone could technically climb up there and try and sit on the boom for a while.
And there's rigging to get up there to, if you need to fix problems or if you need to reattach a sail that's been destroyed or something like that. Yeah, I mean, there's rigging to get up there. Here is a question, though. What do you want your crew to be doing while you're doing this?
We can have our crew block off areas, can't we?
Yes, I'd like. Leva would certainly like that. She'd want the crew to occupy the areas that she's gone through, so nobody can sort of come along and get past her back to where she'd been already.
Okay, so like a crew standing in front of doors, close the
Yeah.
doors, have them stand across hallways such that someone would either have to be extremely small or something like that to get by. I mean, there's no way to
Exactly.
completely
Yeah.
block it up, but yeah, you could do your best.
I think we'd have to check over the hold where the prisoners are as well,
Yes.
just in case they've got in there.
I think that this is going to happen after you've gotten them down into the room,
Mm-hmm.
like you've gotten them down into the brig.
Oh, right. Okay. Fair enough.
Okay, so starting at the top of the ship,
Mm-hmm.
so you cast your first detect invisibility
Yes.
and go over the shuttle first.
Okay.
Okay. Having crew block off the doors, stand in the way of passages and stuff like that, And getting through the shuttle, you do not detect anything hidden or invisible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, then you move into the upper cargo deck.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we got getting the surveillance decks done at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, you have to get through the surveillance deck to get to the upper cargo deck anyway.
Those two ladders down from the surveillance deck.
Mhm.
Do they have anything like a door or a hatch?
They do have hatches, yeah.
Right. So we get those closed.
Mm-hmm.
And like someone standing on them or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't detect anything in the upper cargo deck. So you go
Right.
down to your library.
Yeah.
Check your room, Leva, and Solus's room.
Is Braxton able to go into the room where you keep your library and lab without whatever that S is going bang?
I
Yes,
hope so.
Well, I don't know what the S is.
it's a glyph of warding, and it's not going to be triggered by any of our people.
Okay.
Okay. So you don't find anything hidden in there.
Right.
You make your way
Can
down
we-
to... yep, go ahead.
Can we temporarily leave crew in front of Ever and Solace's doors?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Because I know normally we don't have people in there. It's there.
Or
Yeah.
you might leave the. Once you've checked the whole area, you might leave the people in the stairway entrance.
I think to be safe, you're going to want to leave someone in front of every single door.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's not forever. It's just until you've done the search.
Yes.
And across the stairs.
Yes.
Yeah, and across stairs.
Yeah.
And across any hallways and stuff like that.
Can we do something like tie ropes over stairs?
I mean, you could, but it's just easier to have people stand there.
Oh, no, I mean have a person there, but I'm thinking if someone's invisible and they try to sneak past them, they have to climb over a rope to get down the staircase.
Right, but if you have people standing there blocking the path, they have to squeeze by the person
Oh, right.
as well.
Okay.
And that's going to be
I
kind of
wasn't-
obvious.
Yeah, sure. I wasn't sure that was that. I wasn't sure it was that wide. Okay. In that case, I suggest we have people at the bottom of staircases rather than the top. Otherwise, the
Right.
invisible person's just going to shove someone down the stairs.
If we have enough people.
I mean, again, I was thinking more along the lines of like a few stairs up. You know, like
Yeah, that's even better.
the third step or something like that. And
Yeah.
and I'm not talking about one person. I'm talking about as many people as it needs to try
Yeah,
and leave as small gaps as possible. Sometimes that might be just a GIF. Sometimes that might be two
No, that's
humans,
cool.
that kind of thing.
I'm just thinking if someone's got a spell that can shove someone, we don't want
Yeah,
them
but
to be
that-
shoved down the staircase.
You
But
see,
most likely if they shove.
when
ahead,
they
Lava.
shove somebody there, then we already know where they are for the moment.
I know,
and-
but
and-
Also, if it's the long-lasting normal invisibility spell, shoving someone would make them visible.
that's cool. I'm just saying, let's have them at the bottom of the staircase. I'm not saying not to do the staircase blocking.
Let's do the best way, and I actually agree with Holt that a few steps up is better, and we
Yeah.
have people actually enough people there to so somebody couldn't just push through.
I'm cool
And-
with a few steps up, because if they get shoved a few steps, they're not going to
Well,
die.
then let's go on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on the command deck, you check out on the foredeck, have some people stand in the entrance, go back through, check Akker's room, check the room that you've allowed Lenelius to use, check Braxton's cabin, and then out onto the back deck,
Hmm.
and you don't detect anyone invisible there.
Braxton's going to assume that someone, when he checks the command deck, he's going to assume that someone that's invisible might hang over the edge of the balcony.
Leva was just going to say she's looking over the edge of the balcony, and she's actually where she can. She's looking over the edge to see whether there's anyone hanging there.
Okay. I'll go
well-
ahead and assume that you did the same up on the
Yes.
shuttle main deck and
Yeah.
the surveillance deck as well. Then. Okay.
Braxton's not just looking. He's going to assume someone is hanging there who's invisible,
Right. But
and he's going to run a pole
right. But
along so it will hit.
Leva has a spell that she can know if they're there.
Oh, okay.
She just
Right,
needs
sorry.
to look.
Sorry. Yep.
Okay.
She also has a time limit on that spell, so if we make hours and hours waiting for polls and stuff, then
No, that's
it's gonna
fine.
run
That's
out.
fine. Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine. I didn't understand.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So then you pass through to the officers' deck and get some people to block. I don't know exactly how you want to handle that, and it doesn't matter that much. You got some crew who can block that. Maybe put some boards down or something like that.
Mhm.
And you
Oh, in the hatch.
flip through to the officers' deck.
Isn't
And-
this where the perch area is?
Yep.
Okay.
And so there, Solus, you said that you were going to be waiting at that area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you haven't seen anyone suddenly appear.
Basically, I'm with. I have one crew member or someone basically there to be necessary, protect me if necessary.
Yeah.
So I'm not alone, and I'm basically playing it off, chatting with them, and at the same time discreetly making sure that no invisible creature just appears on the invisibility purge area.
Yeah. I mean, like Aker or Laftel might be there too, just to be on the
Mhm.
safe side.
Yeah.
You check.
Yep.
You check Finn's room, Laftel's room. I'm going to assume that he takes care of anything that he needs to let you in there. Warns you about anything that might be in there. We'll deal with that when he gets back. You check the current empty room, number 6.
Mm-hmm.
Then check in the astrolabe, the helmsman quarters, and the helm room itself. Again, don't detect anything hidden or invisible, other than what you might expect, perhaps in Laftel's room. I don't know if he has anything like that.
Okay. Finno, are you with us? Are you smelling and listening?
Yeah, I would be.
Okay,
I
so
just
you,
imagine that Laft still has
I would have
giant...
taken a wolf form for this.
okay.
I just imagine that Laft has a giant invisible duck in his room. that he just
I got a
goes
giant
out.
statue in my room.
A giant statue of duck.
Like,
But
Laft
is it-
looks in
well,
and there's this giant invisible duck that Laft will never see before.
No, it's my emergency guardian. I cast animate
Yes,
guardian on that
it's
statue.
it's a giant statue of duck.
And it just stares. And
Laftel doesn't have
Leva.
that kind of craftsmanship. Well,
Laf-
it would be hilarious.
Laftel, do you have anything invisible in there that Leva might have detected?
Invisible?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't make things permanently invisible.
Okay, then no.
I get it, at least.
I mean, I got
That's fine.
glyphs of holding and
I just couldn't remember if you had anything like that
the
that she
door
might
is
have
pretty
detected.
locked, but the officers nailed the bar to it.
Well, you would have been there to let
Yeah.
everyone would be there to let Leva
Mhm.
into their quarters.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so you haven't detected anything unusual there. You head down to the quarterdeck.
Mm-hmm.
Check all the chambers there,
Yes.
and you don't detect anything.
That's the whole ship.
Yep.
Plus the shuttle.
And you'd have checked the flitter too.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The only
it is-
other thing that you could do is go and actually check the hull, like get out on the hull.
Is there enough space to do this? Space. Is there enough time to do this? To actually see somebody hang there?
Spell hasn't run out, and it wouldn't take much because you just kind of got to look over the outside.
Yes. Then we'll do that.
Okay. You don't detect anyone on the outer hull, on the bottom, and the spell ends after about 70 minutes.
Nice. That was one, or was that both of them?
That was one.
Is there anything left that can be checked with a second spell that hasn't been checked already?
It's if anyone has any ideas of anything else that could or should be checked.
Well,
There are ways of masking visibility
Mm-hmm.
from low-level divinations.
We don't have a true saying.
Well, we do, but
I
We
have-
have a scroll of it, but
it's unless
If we
we're
haven't
more
found any-
certain.
If we haven't found anything, it makes me think that whatever was invisible that did this did not follow us through the storm.
No, they targeted our ship. They used it as a casting focus.
I have a feeling that they were trying to get rid of us.
Yeah, they wanted the ships. So without us.
and if they were on our ship, it is also possible that they teleported away after they conjured the storm.
it's possible, but we did hear them.
Well, we
Yes,
didn't hear
and,
them on the
'Cause they were
ship, did we? I
targeting
thought
our
we heard
ship.
them like somewhere away from the ship.
Well,
Also,
Normally-
again, I said they might have teleported after conjuring the storm.
they might have, yeah. I mean, sound doesn't normally travel across the void.
Magic.
It's
will
possible
make
that
it
so
they
so.
showed up-
Solus. So what Solus said could be the likely situation.
It's possible that they summoned the storm and like teleported over to either off the ship entirely or over to the barge and stole what was on there. Because that was the one
Oh.
ship we didn't see get sucked into the storm. We just saw it
Or,
slightly get sucked.
or it might, the caster might have even teleported to the mantis ship, thinking that they would not be sucked into the storm.
Which was not the best move since that was the first ship sucked in.
Yeah, but they might not. They might not have realized how the storm moves.
I have a feeling that if they had that spell, they typically know how it works.
Or it could be the Elven Imperial Navy on an invisible ship, and they got one of their wizards to make us disappear because they didn't know we were friendly to them, and they saw what was on the barge,
Yes.
and they just wanted us gone.
I know we've asked this before, Old, but let's ask again. You, as I remember, you said if we hear the chanting from the outside, and as Lafdul and I went into the ship, it became muffled.
Yep.
Is
I
that
was
correct?
inside with Solus.
That is correct.
Well, Leila followed you, didn't she? Yes, she
I
did.
can't- I know I was healing Solus downstairs at the time.
Yeah, she came with, so you didn't have to go alone.
Oh, when we were searching the ship, yeah.
Hmm. So the person, whoever it was probably outside the
Yeah.
ship. In that case, they probably didn't come with us at all. At least
And
Leila
now,
doesn't
and
think
now
so.
we have, now we have confirmed it that they are not here.
Or at least confirmed it as well as you can with that spell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Would I know how my pixie dust works when I get it?
When you get it, yeah.
Alright. Alright, that's information I don't know yet, then.
I mean, I guess it like what are you getting at?
Pixie dust can't be detected with detect invisibility.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, I think you'd be at least vaguely aware, and you know that there are ways to
And
avoid that. There is a common wizard spell, non-detection, that would also prevent
Yeah.
detection, and it's it's not unreasonable to assume that maybe higher level magics could do similar things and stuff like that.
Or a different kind of invisibility.
I mean, like, in the grand scheme of things, it's always possible through magic. We'll put it that way. But going by what you know, you can make best guesses.
I mean, my bat sense, if I had it memorized, might be able to. Because it picks up objects by them just being there, regardless if they're invisible.
Yeah, but again, you had people blocking passageways, and it would be,
Yeah, but
it
he could
wouldn't.
have just stood there and
Right,
just
I
bombed
understand,
them.
but it also wouldn't be
Yeah.
unreasonable to take crew that aren't currently blocking passages and have them just like walk up with their arms and touch walls and stuff like that. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be, you know, in depth, but someone who's just standing there, they can't predict something like that. Exactly where these people are going to touch and
Well,
everything like that. So
Yeah, and if they are not also thief, the chances that they could also stay completely silent, that no one would notice them.
yeah, so I mean, they like. I think you
Unless he
could.
got
I think you could feel reasonably confident that you've searched your ship
Mm.
well enough to, it would be a reasonable assumption that whoever it is gone. You can never be entirely sure, but do you ever need to be entirely sure? That's kind of the thing.
Well, we had reason to suspect someone might be there. We've taken precautions. If anything suspicious happens that suggests that they are still here, we can do another search or try to do more.
Mm-hmm.
I took my dimensional anchor spell. If I see them, I'll be able to bind them into this dimension. If they don't have magic resistance. So they could not teleport away or anything.
Do they get a saving throw to that?
Nope.
Okay.
That's why I was annoyed when the Illithid had magic resistance. I was like, no! Was that that would have been one less Illithid we would have had to deal with.
Okay.
But when you threw like 10 Illithids at us, that was horrible.
Well, I suppose it's a good thing about us not finding anything is that Braxton didn't get his ankle chewed.
I mean,
Yeah.
you would have gotten your ankle chewed only if it was Finn that detected it.
Finn. I don't think that you would have smelled anything fresh that was strange. I mean, you do have, 70 some people on board your ship. So, there's a lot of jumbled smells throughout, especially the corridors. I mean, in the individual rooms, it's way, way less so. But you don't smell anything that stood out to you.
Something that smelled unfamiliar versus the rest of the crew.
Yeah, at least strongly so.
Tell you
Well-
what,
I'll relay that when I change back.
Yeah. You could probably be reasonably like with since this is a couple days on since the events of getting sucked through the cosmic storm, and scents do go away, and it may not have been particularly strong. I mean, the person may not have been sweating much. They may not have had a particularly strong personal smell. There's a lot of things that would go into that. But again, like you don't smell anything super fresh that would be that you would consider unusual.
Yeah.
would slight segue. Would Beowulf be acting at all funny seeing Ben transform into a wolf?
I think
Probab-
Beowulf's seen me turn into a wolf before.
And he's a bit more intelligent than your average direwolf, and this is kind of a druidy thing to do anyway, so.
Yeah.
I just thought it'd be interesting. Just wondering how Beowulf might have reacted. That was all. It's like, oh, playmate.
No, he.
You never know. It's the
I
only
mean,
other wolf, even if it is a non-wolf wolf.
Beowulf might consider Finn already a playmate.
True.
Would you like to ask him personally? I do have a gift of speech memorized.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys can get some rest, get new spells again within the 8-hour limit.
Ooh.
I think
Sorry,
that,
I'm only
that this
changing a
is.
couple now.
I think this has been a full day's stuff going on.
Did we? Oh, that was the thing that I forgot to do. Well, I don't know if I could. Could I have gone down to see if I could get spell components for on the mushrooms for what's it called?
Not
That
today.
spell that you've got.
Not today.
No.
You were spending way. You know,
All right, that's fine.
like you were working on the brig. Remember?
Yeah, I was doing a lot of things today.
Yeah.
That's fine if I didn't.
If the party wants to do that tomorrow, the next day, that's something that you could do. I'll go ahead
It's
and
only a minus spell, so.
drag you guys back to.
We could refresh our food supplies by gathering some mushrooms. If someone wants.
Alright, another day's passed, yes. I'm counting off the
Yeah.
days on my
Uh,
spells.
Didn't Finn say some of those mushrooms are poisonous?
Yeah, he'll tell us which ones are.
Yeah, but if,
Yeah,
Finn,
but-
if Finn goes with to gather them, he can say, yes, take these,
Yeah.
not these.
That's
and
true.
we can also cast detect poison quite easily. I have actually one detect poison even memorized.
I don't think poison would. I don't think that. Does that say anything about detecting like spoiled food?
Not spoiled food.
Okay, because remember, just because they're inedible doesn't mean that they're poisonous.
Yeah, it allows detect if it's poisoned or poisonous.
Yeah, so
And one
it,
object
that
or
that
five...
that might keep you from the ones that are going to kill you, but it wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily keep you from the ones that are going to debilitate you. So just putting that out there.
Yeah, for those that are contaminated or rotten, we can also cast purify food and drink.
Well, no, not just that. Like some of them are just things that they're not poisonous. They're just gonna mess with your digestion and stuff like that, or they're gonna, or they're hallucinatory or something like that. You know, things that are
Oh,
gonna
they sound fun.
maybe. You know, there are things that
Actually,
that you
it's
don't
interesting.
want to eat that aren't necessarily poisonous. It's not an either or.
Mm.
There's more to it than just that. That's what I'm saying. Finn can identify
Yeah.
that spell cannot.
Naftal would be in for some hallucinogenics. Naftal's definitely down for that kind of material. Yeah, but do I need to memorize 2 shipwoods today? Sorry. I think you said I needed 2 castings.
Yeah, to reinforce those walls, if that's what you want to do.
Alright, I will. Oh, that's kind of. I would have attempted to use memory read the previous day before I stepped. I was meant to be casting it on Red Mule. I would try to get the memories again.
We did talk about that last time.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, because I had to step away, so.
So he gets a saving throw?
Yeah, and if the memories are there, he gets +5 if it's secret. And he gets +1 to plus. No, I think he gets +1 because I don't think it's. Well, I don't know this, but if it's over 1 year, but not more than 5. Otherwise, it's +3 to a saving throw on top of that. But if it's 0 to 12 months, then he just gets the standard +5 for a secret memory.
All right. What memory are you trying to read specifically?
Where he, from the point of origin of where he acquired the elven weapons.
Okay. Saving throw versus spell.
It's
No, he made a save.
yeah, it's a really hard spell to pull off when it's a secret.
And a high level character.
Yeah, so another spell component down.
So, do we want to start heading towards that port we were told about?
The pull. We've been here for like
Give
3 days.
me just a second.
I was thinking we can start sailing towards that port the Kobold so it's about, so we can think about getting supplies and figuring out how we can get out of the sphere.
All right. Leva's casting some spells. Let me check something.
How are you feeling lucky
Okay.
today, Lava?
Laftel, you get 1 dexterity, and Braxton, roll
Slightly more than
1d8
that.
for strength.
Thank you, Lava.
Oh, thank you. Hang on. Come on.
Yeah, I forgot to use detect charm, but it doesn't matter. I will. It's fine.
It's just
Cast.
you want to cast it. You want to check detect charm on.
Yeah,
On
I was gonna just check the crew in general, see if anyone was being charmed or something.
it's probably not going to be the crew in general. Give me
Oh,
a second.
well,
All right, Braxton.
guards.
So, I believe you'd be at 1860.
1860.
All right. Laftel. I imagine that's like most other detection spells, 1 person per round kind of thing.
Same progress. I assume so because it doesn't state as such.
All right. What's the duration?
At turns, I can only do 10 people. So whoever's, I would do the 3 prisoners
All right.
and however many guards I can get.
Is there any
Well,
check?
7.
Is there any check
Yes.
to see if they avoid it?
The creature rolls a saving throw where a spell, if it's successful, learns nothing about the particular creature from the casting. A caster learns that the creature being influenced has a 5% per level to determine the type of influence if I am successful.
Okay.
So it's like a 40% if I do detect a charm.
Okay. Let's see.
Would this be done the day previous or today?
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause,
It's.
I
it's
don't
done.
mind.
Yeah, it's done previous. It doesn't take that long.
All right.
I also had one spell that I needed to cast
Okay.
previous day.
All right, we'll get to that in a second. Laftel, you do not detect any charm on. Well, is it either you detect charm or you don't know? Is that what it
I
is?
detect under the influence of a charm spell or similar control, such as hypnosis, suggesting, beguiling, and
Right.
possession.
I'm wondering if it's binary or trinary, i.e., you detect or you don't know, you detect, you don't detect, or you don't know, kind of thing. Is it?
If
I
saving
detect,
throws,
then yeah, I would success. If I beat their saving throw, then then I get to tell if they're charmed.
Okay. Otherwise, you
And
don't know.
Yeah, otherwise I don't know.
Okay.
Then
Yeah.
obviously, once
So
I
if
do
the-
detect a charm, then there's the cumulative 5% per level to determine the type of
Okay.
magic.
In that case, you do not detect, like you don't detect any charms on anyone, meaning that if they are, it didn't succeed. It's either they
That's fine.
aren't, there's nothing there, or you don't know. Solus, yes.
Yeah, I meant to refresh blur on the Finn's ring.
Okay, that's fine.
And if he was missing any of the other spells I could cast, I would refresh those also.
All right, Finn.
I think Blur's the only one I've ever used.
Okay.
Okay.
You got the black tentacles on it.
I don't. It never had that when I got it. I know it's
We-
capable of it.
We have the spell in our books, but have not have time to study it.
Okay.
All right.
Since it's a 4th level spell, I didn't have access to it when I got the ring.
Okay. That's something to consider. It's a pretty good spell for taking care of a big mass of people.
Low.
So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good spell.
It takes you a day to learn it if you did.
Yes.
All right.
also
So you spellcasters get some rest. They can get new spells. In the on that shift where the spellcasters are resting, a swarm of strange creatures, flying creatures, they kind of swarmed through your air envelope, putting a good fright into the crew on duty and stuff like that, but no real harm. Some scrapes as people got bumped into by these things. Initially, it was thought that they were bats, but they weren't making any real noise. And it turns out, because it was just kind of like the swarm of flying creatures. They weren't bats; they were fish with bat-like wings. They didn't cause any real harm.
Batfish.
Definitely were creepy though.
Do they look edible?
I mean, the bodies were fish. You don't know. You didn't catch any.
Oh, bodies. Oh, right. I see. We didn't catch any. Fair enough.
Yeah, with bat-like wings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're otherwise perfectly normal fish-looking things, but with bat-like wings.
Well,
It just
I mean,
means you get wings with fish as a
Do we
side.
have any nets that we could have caught some?
You know, I
that
do,
was
but
that was
obviously-
it wasn't exactly. It was like picture a swarm of bats coming at you. Are you going to have the just suddenly appear and swarm over you without actually biting you or anything like that? Are you going to have the wherewithal to deploy nets, or are you going to be like ducking down, protecting your head? Oh my God, what the hell are these?
Well, next
yeah.
time we encounter this.
Yeah, I mean, if I was around, but I was asleep, I would have tried to snag one with my ring.
And again, like you have no idea if they're tasty fish or
Yeah.
not. All right, so spellcasters get up, spend your time memorizing spells. After that,
Much less. It's only an hour.
that's good.
Only an hour for me.
That's good. Did you guys
Actually,
want to spend
hour
some time
20.
going back down to the surface to see what, see if you could collect up some of these mushrooms? Keep in mind, some of these mushrooms are gigantic.
I just want the equivalent of a spell minute for a puffball. Which I believe.
Well, either you need to mount a helm on one of the flitter and go down, or someone needs to pilot it down or something like that. So it's a question of whether you guys want to do that or not. Laftel wants to. Does anyone else want to?
I don't really need to, but I thought it was. I mean, if we're going to make an excursion for food.
If people want to see food, then Braxton will be curious to see whether you can make things out of mushrooms.
You might get some hard mushroom wood.
I mean,
Yeah,
again,
mushroom wood.
keep in mind that you were basically told that the port is only about a day away.
Yeah.
You can go there, and it's just one day back here, or a day to other
That's true.
places. You can see stuff.
And if you want a mushroom for puffball, Finn has several.
Oh,
There you go.
He'd be happy to share.
Yeah. No, I mean, if that saves the whole excursion, then yeah, I'd have that. But I mean, if we're going down there anyway.
well, I don't think anyone wanted to go down except you.
Alright, then that
No.
saves us an excursion, then, I guess. unless-
Well, Lafdal, you did mention that there might be some supplies to refresh our healer's kits.
Yeah, I mean, there might be something down there. I mean, some funguses can be used for those purposes.
But again, do you want to spend the time now? Do you want to try to get more information about the sphere? You've now been here like 3 days and haven't moved. I will also note that you have occasionally seen like asteroids decent sized pass by. Not super close, but of various sizes, anything from fist size up to boulders and beyond.
Mhm.
So there is stuff, like floating around in the space of this sphere.
Oh, so we might be
Well-
moving.
Leva wants to identify some things. She
Okay.
has memorized
Oh.
2 identifies.
That's something I forgot to ask you. Oh well.
Tell?
I was going to pay because I had a greater pearl. I want to get my dagger improved identified.
I haven't I haven't memorized the other.
Yeah, that's fine.
the other, but I can do that for tomorrow.
I mean, at some point in the sphere,
Mhm.
I would be obliged.
No problem.
Okay. So this is just a regular identify?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the first one.
Let's see. Where are the things? Do, 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 do. Solas, do you want the staff identified?
Yeah, it's useful to identify, though. I'm actually willing to give it to Finn now since I've rethought a few things.
Finn, do you want to identify it?
Yeah, it'd be useful to know what it can do.
Okay. So Lever identifies the staff. This is the smooth oaken hardwood staff with silver and steel caps and bands.
Was not the wand of force?
This is a
It's
staff.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you're looking for it, it's in the black hole, row 10.
Okay.
All right. You identify that, and the spell reveals that it is intended for use in combat situations and can deliver powerful blows. You realize that you have identified an item like this before. This is
Oh.
a staff of striking. It's another one. It has a moderate number of charges in it.
That's a thought.
It
Solus,
does. It does have a command word, though. You will need to research that.
Oh. Could you transfer charges from one staff to the other using Dwemer Flow?
Yes, if I remember.
If it's the
correctly.
same item.
I think Dwemer Flow allowed that, yes. Though there's a risk when you do that something breaks.
Oh.
I mean, you can also
I was
just
thinking-
use one until it's used up and then swap to the other
Yeah,
one.
I was just thinking, just pull the charges in the other staff.
Yeah, I think it's possible with Dwemer Flow, but there is a chance that something breaks, if I remember correctly. There's item saving throws involved in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
I need to check it to make sure, but
You've got a staff. Oh no, you've got a wand of striking, haven't you? And you've got the
Yeah,
staff
but-
of healing.
the one doesn't have charges on the strikes,
Oh.
since it has a spells that has charges.
Okay, Leva.
I'm looking for the next thing.
All right.
You identify Archer's sword.
Hmm?
Just,
I'm
I think
speaking on-
Archer said that it just had a minor enchantment. His granddad said, I think something like that.
Yeah, the one that he got from that he's planned to return
Given
that
back, yeah.
Holgang took. Yeah, it's actually just a +1 sword.
Yeah.
But it has
Nice handling,
it
though.
has it has sentimental value to the family. So
Yeah, that's why Laughter wants to keep the +1 short sword. It's the elven one.
Yep.
It's a nice decoration piece.
I can't see the
practical.
next thing that should be identified. There were several ones.
mm-hmm. I have several things noted that have not been identified.
Was it Solus that did the last lot of it? He failed to do the cloak. You failed the cloak. That wasn't right.
Mm-hmm.
Solus failed. Level 8.
Where is the cloak?
Row 28.
Okay. So let's go and identify the cloak. This mysterious cloak.
That the wizards are oogling over.
Mm-hmm.
That Solas must take because he has.
He's invested everything. All my chips are in this pile.
Yeah.
Okay. That is able to increase the air that you take with you into the void.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's useful.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you want to go between ships. If you're flying, that means you might take a reasonable amount of air with you.
Yeah, and I have access to fly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Leva's got the cloak that allows her to survive in space, I think.
It can also generate fresh air around you.
Does it have charges?
No, it does not report any charges.
Ooh, Hey,
Solas
air is no
enjoys,
longer a problem.
Solas enjoys the idea of fresh air.
You don't know that air is no longer a problem. You don't know
Oh.
how much air it generates. That's
There's
something that
no
you'll
way
have
to do like a
That's something to experiment
scientific
with.
theory.
That's something to experiment
5
with.
minutes. 5 minutes. Help!
No, we need like one of those spells that can quantify a substance into a value.
It's called use it a few times, especially in relevant areas, and you'll know what
Hey.
it does.
Mine was more fun.
So the next one would be a ceramic flask with a dull grey lumpy liquid inside.
Hold on a second. All right, that is a potion of plant control.
Oh, I guess Finn's
is
interested
that?
in that.
I mean, wasn't Finn interested in it already?
Yeah, so the plant sphere.
All right, so you're taking that, Finn?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have, no, it's not been has it properly been properly identified? The chance
You've had the
for permanent
regular.
effect?
I'm sorry, what was that, Leva?
The one where we have a common chance for permanent effect. We don't actually. Oh yes, it grants
Yes,
immunity
it's
to poison.
you've
It's,
had the regular identifier, not the improved one.
Yeah, the thing, though, is that with the potions, you kind of need to use them to really know what they do,
Okay.
specifically.
We haven't identified those incense blocks.
yes.
that
It
we-
might-
magic.
I go one by one. Even though we haven't, we can't really figure out to 100%. Then we're still going to have a go at the brown effervescent liquid in a steel flask.
Okay. That is an elixir of youth.
Oh, I know Archer and Braxton would be interested in that.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, I've got one on me, actually. I keep it in my
I mean,
chest.
Solas is also feeling quite old due to all of those hasted times, so he's also interested in.
Well, Braxton, you're the one who complains about being hasted all the time.
Do you want to take that, Braxton?
He may
Well,
be off.
I think they're going to contest that, aren't they?
Has he disconnected?
I'm gonna contest it.
He is muted. I don't. Maybe he stepped away.
Can you hear me?
All right, let's hold off on that then. Wait until he gets back,
Okay.
because if he's
Then we have-
interested.
Then we have the glass vial filled with a bubbling yellow liquid that, even when sealed, smells of tobacco smoke.
Okay.
I think non-smokers shouldn't apply.
So this may solve some problems. That is also an elixir of youth.
Oh, but one of them could be misidentified, but you never know.
It could be. It could be.
I'll take the one that
One.
doesn't smell like tobacco.
That also
You're the
does
one
not.
that's immune to a disease.
Do you? But like, I mean, we're assuming that Braxton wants one. It seems pretty likely. Does that satisfy everyone else? If
Yeah, the
each
two
of them get one?
warriors
Yes.
want
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
Uh,
gonna.
Ocker,
They're both gonna chug them.
since you're here, you get to choose which one you want. You want the brown effervescent liquid?
I want the brown effervescent liquid,
Okay.
and I'm going to drink it immediately.
Oh.
Hang on, do it together, both you and Braxton.
Well, he's not here.
I'm
Aw.
going to drink it.
All right, you're drinking it. And give me a 1d4 plus 1.
Oops.
It's a potion that ages Okkara.
Yeah.
All right. Your
Well, the
age is
longevity
reduced by 3 years.
I'm 31.
Oh, he's 1 year
Enjoy.
younger than me, IRL.
Enjoy.
I mean, Laughter's at the ripe old age of like 132.
Akar's true age is 24. So I'm gonna need a few more of these.
My trade is 118. That means you can have 3 more hastes now.
No.
Less
I'll
level
just
rounds.
delete. I'll just delete this from the list and say, drink it.
It's fine.
Give the
Yeah,
flask
just
to
remove it.
Laftel.
I'll
So
hand
we
over the
have-
flask to Laftel.
Was it? Oh, it's a steel flask. Ooh, yes.
And then
I
we
like
have the
that.
12 blocks of incense, rectangular block of golden brown incense.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be funny if they're all incense of youth?
So you will know that, and this you don't have to individually identify each block. They're all the same.
Okay.
Those specifically affect priests, and when one is burned and prayed over for as long as it takes to actually burn the entire block, that will improve the efficacy of their spells.
Does it work for paladins?
No.
Probably
Aw.
a duration now.
Do you count druids as priests?
Yes.
Yeah, all of us.
Yeah.
Me, you, and
Clerics,
Yeah.
druids, specialty priests, crusaders, mystics, monks. Those are all priests.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
So there are 12 of those blocks.
For
Split
each?
Evenly. Yeah, split evenly. So
Yeah, we'll just split them up.
I guess 4 for each of our priests.
Yeah, I just
Mhm.
copied and pasted it. I'll put that in my.
So how does that work? Do they need to burn it and pray over it before a fight, or can they do it during combat?
This
Whenever you.
So, the priests, you guys would understand that these things would take hours to burn. Like, these are blocks of incense. So, no, it's not something that you could just light for a moment. You have to burn the entire thing, pray and meditate over it for the entire length of its burning.
Whew.
And yeah, it does have a duration on how long you can how long the benefits last. But you won't know what that is until you try it.
try it.
Mm.
Can I just write improved spell potency? Would that be okay?
Yeah.
I just said praying over it over the entire burn duration improves spell potency for a time. I can't imagine not being permanent. You can make it permanent.
No, it's not permanent, and no, you can't
No.
make it permanent.
Oh.
We're
That's-
once Braxton gets back, we're gonna have to contest the potion of poison immunity.
Is it just
Oh.
you though? I'm interested in that. But,
yeah, I said we in a general sense.
All right. Well, first of
yeah.
all, Braxton, you missed something.
Yeah, sorry.
There were two elixirs of youth,
Oh.
and Ocker decided the party decided that since both you and Ocker would likely want them, that each of you get one.
And since you weren't here, I got first dibs.
Okay.
Yeah,
you just got wolf.
he got the one that doesn't smell like tobacco smoke even when sealed.
Okay.
You gonna drink yours?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Ocker's already chugged
A little
his.
bit younger.
So, Braxton, go ahead and roll me a 1d4 plus 1, please.
Mm.
Now Braxton gets old.
Yeah, probably.
That's the longevity that could backfire.
Braxton grows D4 plus 1 extra legs. Oh. I seem to have. Oh, I'm being an idiot. Just tried to do that in the Twitch chat.
You also grow 3 years younger.
Don't
Yeah.
delete that from this thing yet now, because I want to update the master list.
What age are you now, Braxton?
35.
I'm 31.
Yeah.
Elixir,
I should
what was
I
it?
should be
Sorry.
I should be 23.
I should be 24. How did you end up so much older than me?
Been in the game longer.
Well,
I think we were hasted at the start, weren't we?
Mm.
yeah.
I think by Zamfir at one point. I don't know.
I mean, not
if you're-
every haste spell has affected everyone in the party.
Lampier was never high enough level to get haste.
No, you got a scroll, didn't you?
I
'Cause you had
think
a scroll of Fireball had hasten as well, didn't
I
it?
think the bigger thing is, I mean, that may have contributed, but I think the bigger thing is that not every party member has been affected by every haste spell.
Okay, but yeah, he never even used that spell from that scroll. The only spell he used from the scroll was Fireball.
Successfully.
I think Braxton's old because some of our spellcasters kept making hasty decisions.
Never, ever. Would never do something like that.
What was it? 1d4 plus 1, isn't it?
Yep.
I'm just updating our notes so we know what these potions are and what common spheres are in school. So you can easily identify them in the future.
All right, so there was talk about competing for that potion that will make the imbiber immune to poison.
Okay.
Can I just segue? You can whoever is on this, the elixir of use can be deleted now. I've added it.
Okay. Trying to find them.
I mean, if someone's on the page, you can just delete. You know, they can delete it.
Oh, I don't know.
Someone else.
I will delete it. Who's on? Who's black? Who's clicking it? Is that me? Probably me.
All right. So who is interested in that other potion?
You mean the poison?
Mm-hmm.
I am.
Okay.
There was a section on there where it listed he was interested on
Yeah, I'm just looking for it at the moment.
it. It wasn't added to the thing. It was.
I mean, I would
Alright,
hope that
it's
those.
35.
I would hope that those who
Everybody-
were interested know that they're interested. So.
Yeah, Braxton, Lafdal, Lever, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So do you guys want to just dice off for it? Highest gets it.
Sounds good.
Lever
I
gives
mean-
up. She's not that interested. She thinks.
Lafdal is because
Victoria's
he
can-
accidentally poisons himself occasionally.
So keep in mind that
Sometimes
there is a risk to this. You when you identify
Life
it.
is a risk.
All right. So Ocker and Braxton, go ahead and roll a d20.
Oh,
I was
congrats.
thinking. Hang on. I was thinking you said Lafdal plays around with poison.
No, it's fine. Archer won that. I mean,
I'm
it's-
waiting for Braxton.
yeah, he rolled a 3, didn't he? Or
Oh.
not?
No.
No,
Oh, no,
no,
that's
no.
the age.
No, that's
No,
the
no.
age.
Go on,
That's the age.
Braxton.
Let's see if he rolls a 19 or 20.
I mean, if you get immunity to poison in combat, that's amazing. Especially for the fighters.
Note that this does
Besides-
not mean poison gas.
Yeah, it's just venom, isn't it?
And besides, it's Lafdal's own fault if he stings himself with scorpion stingers.
If you're going to drink this, Archer, come down into my room, because I do have a neutralized poison, but I do not know... Thing is, if I cast it, if the spell works, if the potion works as intended and you go comatose, that might be the intended effects. I don't know if casting neutralized poison on you will cancel the spell, cancel the potion. I mean, you might just have to live with the fact that you might die. I don't know.
Oh, I've accepted the fact that I could die any day now.
Oh. Is there any way for us to? I know a hold poison would. Yeah. It might literally be a poison. You drink the poison. If you pass your save, you get immunity. If not, you die of poison. Is it like the Mithridates thing? Keep on drinking.
My plan is to hang on to it until you have like a neutralized poison prepared in case this thing
I do
blows
in
up
the
in my face.
statue. In my altar, I have one memory. Actually, no, I have it memorized as well. I've got 2 neutralized poisons.
Oh, I'll try it in a bit. I had BRB for a second. Okay.
Might
Yeah.
want to wait longer than a bit since you drank that potion of youth.
I was wondering if someone was going to mention that.
Okay, yeah, I'm waiting a day.
Okay.
And yeah, BRB.
Oh, that would be funny. Permanently younger or something.
All right. I had some other items. I think that they've been. Everything else has been identified.
We have books.
Well, I have the wands that I don't have listed as having been distributed yet. So
No.
Mhm.
Well, Levi's going to go for them. She's.
It's Solus, didn't you? No.
so do you guys want to? Do you want to dice for them, or is there a distribution where each of you gets one?
There's
Sola-
there's only Levi still interested.
Solas is okay with just getting the cloak.
Hmm.
So Leva, you
When
want
you-
the 2 wands then? Is that
Yes, please.
that's okay
That's
with you,
fine.
Solus?
Yeah, as long as I get the cloak.
Oh well, okay. Then Leva, how do you? Was there?
Well,
sorry. Was there anyone else interested in the cloak then?
No.
Everybody had shown interest in the cloak before. Everybody.
That was before the identification.
So what does the cloak
I'm
do?
fine with him having
It increases the air amount you can take into wild space when you go.
That's kind of useful.
Yeah,
It's
if you
more
get
useful
jettisoned.
it's more useful for spellcasters that can go there easier.
I mean, it'd be pretty
can
useful
go
for
between
a
ships.
warrior who gets knocked off a ship and goes
Oh,
overboard.
yeah.
Well, Braxton is still showing interest. I think they should roll.
Well, that's up to Braxton. Don't
I'll
make
let him
decisions
have
for
Braxton's already gotten the axe.
I was about to say I'll let you have it because I've got the axe. But if you're going to say, oh, you've had the axe, so I should have this. I'll let you have this time. I'll get the next cloak. Or you don't
Oh,
contest
but
the
what,
next
what if
cloak.
it's a cloak of improved spell efficacy?
Well, then I get this cloak and he has that cloak.
Yeah.
Okay, so Solus gets the cloak. All right, and then Leva gets the wands.
Yay, Solas now has cool effect constantly.
Yeah, but that's going to be annoying after a while. It's constantly fluttering in your face or something.
It's the
not
hem.
fluttering
It's
on-
the hem.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not fluttering on the face.
Does it have a hood?
Yes,
Yeah,
it is a
it's
hooded
one.
cloak. It is specifically a hooded cloak.
What was the
Would
color of it?
Leva-
Blue.
If Leva were to cast not identifying it, would she get more
No.
than what is known on the 2 wands? I mean,
Oh, what do you know about the one with the unworked orange octahedral fluorite crystal?
that's the clear uncut quartz crystal at tip, right?
No, the unworked
Oh.
orange octahedral fluorite crystal
Oh.
on the tip.
Yes. We know it detects hidden and secret things. Moderate charges.
No, you're not going to get any more out of that.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
But the other one we know can produce a multitude of force-based effects.
All right, that's all you know?
Yes.
Okay.
Moderate, a moderate amount of charges still as
Alright.
well.
Let me. All right. The first ability of it is that it can create a sword-like field of force, used like
Kind of.
used like a sword.
Oh, I know what spell that is. It's a good one.
So,
isn't it?
all right. Wands oftentimes have different effects. Like, keep in mind the burning hands from the wand of fire does not mimic the burning hands spell.
Okay.
Right.
So the effects may be different.
Isn't that Mordenkainen's sword?
That's what I'm thinking of.
But your
And-
characters don't know it.
True, true.
No, it's a high level spell.
All right.
So you said first.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. The second ability is to create an invisible plane of force.
Yeah, Wall of Force probably.
Plane of force.
Yep.
Okay.
And the third, let's see, creates
more-
a hand-like force.
Forceful hand. Big bees.
Nice.
Was Mordenkainen a Force Mage?
Mordenkainen? No.
Yeah.
He had,
None of
had
them were.
quite a lot of different spells.
Yeah, I can't remember.
He did a lot of everything.
All right, those are the abilities of it.
Does it have a command word?
You're gonna need to research that. Yeah.
Okay.
Or ask the sorcerer, she might know.
Does
Or the dead wizard.
Does the cloak have command for the ability to create that air freshener?
You pull up the hood and will it to work.
Okay,
I mean, if
well, let's test it.
if anyone was a force mage, that was probably Bigby.
None of them actually were though. They're just mages.
I don't think there are any renowned Force Mages, are there?
Yeah, but almost all of his spells are pretty much giant hand punch.
Yeah, but they still just they weren't specialists.
Yeah, they're just transmutation spells, aren't they? The big bee spells.
You can make
Invocation. Invocation.
Oh.
you can make any kind of spell if you are not pretty much if you are not in specific school.
Sometimes you have to be a specialist. To make,
Specialist.
certain
yeah,
spells.
in certain situations, but mostly.
So
Like
I
Chronomancer
also
or
have a listed wizard scroll that wasn't distributed. It had taunt, locate object, Maximilian stony grasp, etc.,
Yeah.
etc. Had that
And
been
also-
decided on who it goes to?
We have to roll on that.
Clearly laughter. No.
So who wants it?
it's fine.
You did.
I think me and Leva both.
All right. Is that just you two?
Ooh.
Laughel,
Looks like it.
were you just
No,
joking?
no, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
D20 from each of you, please.
Eyebite's a nice spell.
Oh! Oh!
That was unexpected.
That was unexpected. All right, Solus gets
It's
that.
low is high, isn't it?
Yeah, no.
I just imagine
That's-
our group. I just imagine our group sitting around, like the characters sitting around the table, rolling the strange dice to try to determine who gets what item.
Laughter's
should
rolling
have
his
rolled the
augury dice or something. He's like,
I
I
"Which
should
one?"
have
I'm-
rolled the
I-
dice that it wasn't an attack roll. Then it would have gone high.
I'm guessing that you borrowed Laughter's dice.
I brought Braxton's dice.
And
So-
the new staff of striking, was that going to Finn, or was there going to be dice? Was that going to be diced off?
Why not give that to Nord or the helmsman? One of the helmsmen.
Not the Nord. Why would he give it to Nord?
Not Nord. Norferic.
Why do you want to arm the prisoners?
I think we could give it to Solus. Solus is finally combat ready, right?
Wow.
I don't need it.
yes, definitely.
I have a quite
He's
good
got
weapon.
he's got
already.
over he's got over 50 HP. He can handle it.
It's got more hit points than me.
I'm not good in melee combat.
You can bullets. Well, spell sponge.
I'm way better in supporting from the second row.
Hang on, you were definitely chewed on by that like OT thing, that beholder thing, or Argus. It was having a good old time with you, and you still came out none worse from where.
Right. Does Finn even use staffs as a weapon?
Yeah, he has a staff of striking already.
Yeah.
Oh,
And Solus has a staff of curing and a wand of striking.
then we could give the Norfera for the
Or
list
one
that
of the
Souls
helmsmen.
wanted. Yeah. Is there one the
Is there-
Helmsman would like a reliable weapon?
I mean,
think
we
they
could.
both love that.
I mean, we could also make it basically keep it in the helms room and have a helmsman know the command work for it.
That could work too.
I'm taking a look to see what people use.
Oh, if either of them use a staff.
Is that something that people could share though?
They're both 4th level.
Nemariel can use. Nemariel uses a staff.
And we could have Nemario hold on to it.
Sun Fayun sort of does. It's a different kind of staff, though.
Is that a bow staff or something?
Yeah, he uses a bow stick.
Oh, I thought it'd be like one of those 3-section staffs. Where you pull off 2 ends and you use it like nunchucks.
I'm gonna suggest that if you, like, either you keep it as trade fodder or to distribute later, like if someone loses a staff, or you just actually give it to one of the NPCs. I like. It's better to just like start rewarding them rather than here.
Yeah.
This is ours, but you can use it, kind of thing.
In all honesty, I think
I
we
don't
should give
mind
it.
just giving them the staff.
I mean, she did do well with the Cosmic Storm, so
Yeah, see, Satan's for the Cosmic Storm. I think she deserves
I
it as a reward.
Yeah.
I think there should be some reward. Gives them incentive to stay with us as well. I mean, yeah, they're being paid, but occasionally, yeah, magic let them throw their way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be good. And then we want to get the other 2 a magic item at some point.
Yeah.
Is anyone objecting?
No.
No,
So we give her the staff.
All right.
It's like yours, but you got to figure out how the command word works. But it's yours.
Yeah, she'll
Whoa.
do some research. On
I
that.
mean, there's a library.
Yep.
Well,
Okay.
You could
Let's
hit
see.
people over the head if they try to invade the Helm Room.
All right. So you also had spell books that you haven't dealt with.
they were
They
trapped.
do.
We need find traps active and they dispel magic to attempt to dispel the traps.
I mean, you can use your find traps too. You know.
Yes.
Nah, you
but
can
those
cast
kind of
find traps.
failures tend to blow up the book.
I mean, we already once used find traps to them, so we can use it again. It's not a difficult spell to cast.
I mean, do you want to wait until later to deal with these?
I mean, I do have an augury. I can attempt to cast an augury and see what my result is. Just see if I get lucky with the augury.
I would suggest if you're going to do stuff with these spell books, you keep them all separate.
Oh yeah, I'm doing this on the deck with none of my magical gear on, so I park my ring of
I mean,
regeneration.
an augury is not going to matter. It's not going to set it off.
No, I mean to predict my results. Will I die from attempting to disarm this trap? Or will well, actually no, could I even do it an augury that way? Because
I mean, it's just gonna say that. I mean, it's gonna depend on what the trap is. It's like I'm not rolling your remove traps before I do the augury.
yeah, I know. I was thinking
That's not how that works.
No, it is.
So it's based on
that's
what
fine.
the trap does and what your chances are.
Can I use Call Upon Faith to give me a slightly better chance?
I think that's just one round action, though.
Yeah, it is, but you said until the action is complete, because it would never work for find traps or disarm traps, because they're always 1d10. I
Go look at
assume
that
it
as
would be
well.
ruled into a reasonable short period of time.
Let me go look at the spell. I mean, the thing is that thieves generally don't have access to that spell, so...
Yeah.
Let me see Call Upon Faith. A lot of it is... I mean, like, Call Upon Faith is generally more... Call Upon Faith, jump across the gap,
Hmm.
kind of thing.
I mean, it's up to you. I suppose.
Let me see.
Does Braxton still smell like tobacco?
You don't smell like tobacco.
I thought the
Your breath,
potion.
mate.
The potion did. It
Yeah.
tasted pretty strongly of it.
You mean Braxton's teeth and fingers haven't been colored like he was smoking tobacco for years?
Yeah, you've aged younger, but your teeth have aged 3 years.
No, he's younger, but he looks like he's been smoking for a decade.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that the time involved is just not.
You're saying I need a different kind of spell
Yeah.
for fine traps. and
Draw
disarm
upon holy
traps.
might applied to dexterity would do it. Would help. I think. But call upon faith. It's really for. I mean, like it
The
doesn't
fast actings.
even say proficiencies. It says ability checks. But
It's-
it is a.
I mean, I've used it on Gemcasey before, and that certainly isn't a minute thing. But you could argue that it's during a critical moment you cast it to get that one
Yeah, I
cut.
probably shouldn't have allowed you to do that, actually. Because it really is supposed to be, like, you know...
it's the Hail Mary.
Well, it's like it says, crossing a narrow log high above a chasm. You know, it's that thing of just, you know, I'm about to do something very dangerous, but it's instantaneous kind of thing, essentially. You know, it's a very short period of time, and finding traps, removing traps, picking locks, gem cutting, they're not. You know, making armor with weaponsmithing, not that kind of thing.
So my dexterity doesn't actually improve my fine traps and open locks, I don't think. Even at 19. Don't believe it does anyway, hang on. I need to check that. Because I did have Cat's Grace cast on me.
Yep. I mean, it should affect open locks, I think.
Someone take it. It might take me a little while to find where I wrote this down.
I'm looking at the...
Yeah, I can't find where.
Find, remove traps, and open locks are both affected by dexterity.
So I just wrote plus 5% score.
Yeah, so you get
So what?
you get
doesn't
5%. You get
improve?
5% for
Let's read languages. That was the only one I didn't.
yeah. Climb walls also not. Hear noise also not. It's
Oh,
pickpockets,
hear
open
noise.
locks. It's pickpockets, open locks, find and remove traps, move silently, hide in shadows. Those are all affected by dexterity.
I'll take my notes.
And basically, for each point of dexterity above 18, you're going to get 5% for all of those. So 5 additional
Five.
percent at 19, 10 at 20, that kind of thing. So
Does that stack with draw upon holy might?
no, I would say draw upon holy might would replace Cat's Grace.
Alright. I only get 2 out of that anyway. Still, it's under 5%. I mean, yeah, I'd wait. Well, if I'd known about this, I would have waited for an extra 5% because that make all the difference.
I mean, you can wait until later. You don't have to do this now,
Yeah, I will wait until later.
but keep in mind that you should be doing it soon. I mean, otherwise we're just sitting around doing
I will do it
nothing
the
for you
next
guys,
day.
So.
Next spell rest, I will memorize draw upon holy might because I basically become comatose for like an hour, and I'm also doing memory read, which is also making me extremely weak. I'm also training all day. You know, it's like these compounding weaknesses.
All right. Let's see. Okay.
You can't identify a trap, can you? With an identify spell, you know it's trapped.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. So then in that case, you guys want to head towards the port?
I suppose we can now. Although we wanted to sneak off, didn't we? Have we worked out who's sneaking and who's staying?
I guess I would.
I mean, you're
go
not at the
anyway,
port yet,
apparently.
so.
No, but we want to not be visible from the port before we split up.
This is during the date where Solus cast all of his third level spells in repair injury, right?
I mean, this is a new day. Levicasm
Yeah.
identifies. Solus is casting all those. If you want to hold off a day so that, like, I mean, they said it would take a day to get there, so you'll have another rest along the way.
Yeah, I've only got 2, so I'm
it
still
is
memorizing the same 2.
right. It's something. If you want to have different spells prepared for when you get to the port, you can definitely do that.
Oh, in that case, I don't need to take no custom. If I'd known that.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, no
Yeah,
customs. No
the
customs might be useful if you encounter a ship along the way, though.
Yeah, I know.
Mm.
It's one of those things. I'll obviously. I've only memorized 1 shapewood. I was supposed to take 2, but oh well. Just means I'll have to do it for another day unless Finn's got one.
No, I thought you were taking care of it, so I didn't memorize one.
That's fine. No, just taking the day. That was all. I forgot.
And don't forget what I said about shapewood for repairing the ship.
Oh, no, yeah.
We do have a bit of damage that you could try to repair.
Yeah, I got 1. I've only got 1 shapewood memorized at the moment. I mean, I can do something with it. Do you want me to repair the
Like,
ship
you
or
don't have to
reinforce
do
the
it
brig?
now. You'd probably want to reinforce the brig first.
I'll reinforce.
Yeah.
So, are you guys ready to start moving towards the
Yes, please.
port? Okay. So remember that is down this way. You can start moving your token.
I wonder if have we ever heard of like pocket spheres, like really tiny spheres?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Mm.
So we're moving for a day. Hang on. Let me get the ruler. Oh, blimey. Oh, so that's less than a day away.
You're not going there. You're going further.
Oh, right. Oh, right. Okay. I can only see a little bit.
I know.
Sorry, I thought.
I know. It's dark. You'll have to move carefully.
Okay.
You can see my arrow, correct?
Yeah.
That's the direction that you were told to go in.
Yeah. Right. Well, hang on, because I've got to work out how to move the right amount of time.
You just move the token.
Yeah, I know, but once I move the token, I don't know how far I've moved it. Are we moving for like?
You'll move until you see the port.
All right.
You see the time it takes to go where the arrow is.
Yeah, but I can only move it or measure. I can't do both.
I've got it measured.
Okay. Hello. I moved it and it didn't move that far.
I moved it.
You moved it, right? Okay.
Somebody go ahead and show how many hours so the ship can follow.
So you start. Now you're
I was muted.
kind of off course, so I'm gonna need a navigation check.
Okay. Well, there was a big thing in the way.
You assume you can go through it. That's why we had to.
Or over it.
All right, that's good enough. You can get back onto the line that I'm showing. That was a
I
large.
don't see that line.
That you don't see my line.
It briefly flashed.
Very
but
briefly. Now I
Yeah.
can see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look, we're back at the line.
So you
Get
you went around a rather large floating rock. You decided to give it a wide berth. You couldn't see much on it because you gave it a wide berth, but it did look like there may have been giant mushroom forests as you passed
Ooh.
it. As you pass by that, and that would be about halfway through the trip, so spellcasters could have changed up their spells at that point if they wanted. It was almost a full day of travel before you see kind of rising out of the dark an enormous pair of a stalagmite and a stalactite coming from, floor ceiling. You're not sure how that, what the appropriate terminology would be here. But almost joining together, but still separated by, as you're closing in, you realize miles of distance. And right in between these two pieces is a floating asteroid, a rock of some sort. And as you close in more, you kind of realize that this must be the destination. And it is a port. There is a port on this asteroid floating in between the two.
Would they be able to see us?
Yes.
So Solas talks with our with Glau and basically goes, interesting position for the stone to float. It seems like it might have been brought there on purpose.
That is hard to say. You would actually, it might even be that this once was a column that was broken, and this is now the remnants of it floating in between. It does have its own gravity, but it does not share an air envelope with either of those two pieces. But you can see that there are probably caves or villages or something on those two pillars there.
So we could go up to explore the.
As we were
They definitely don't have formal docking facilities that you can see.
as we were traveling, could I have come up with like some facial disguises to hide that he's an elf?
Sure.
To me, Leva, and I suppose Solus if he wants it, and
mean,
the elf commander.
I think the elf commander is going to be staying on ship.
I
he's
know, but if
Probably worried
it's up
about.
to him.
He's probably worried
I mean-
about like people coming on board, right?
Yeah, I mean, if there's hobgoblins, we like hated enemies.
Yeah.
We kill each other on sight.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah, but if there's no elves here, they might not know what an elf
Yeah,
is.
that's why I'm trying to. Leva may not realize the
All right. So
animosity.
before
between
that,
our people.
Braxton, give me 1d6 and Ocker 1d8. Leva, you do not need to whisper these to me.
Okay.
Okay.
So I need to roll a
Cat's
d8.
D6. Oh, it's the next day, isn't it?
Yeah. So
So
Ocker, you gain
better.
that much strength, and Braxton, you gain that much dexterity, up to 19 max.
Okay. Let me put my strength back to normal.
As you are approaching this, definitely by the time that you can see,
Sorry,
make out
what
the
was the max?
details. I'm sorry?
Sorry, what was the max?
19.
19. Thank you. Sorry.
As you're closing in, yeah, they've obviously noticed your approach because a pair of small vessels, and
So that
they're
puts me at.
small. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm trying to. So that puts me at. So I started 16, and that's 17, 18, 18, 10.
Yeah. So as you're approaching, they've definitely noticed you because a pair of small vessels, kind
Okay.
of triangular, are approaching you. These are small vessels, Braxton. They're they wouldn't even cause a ship like yours to drop out of spell jamming speed
Yeah.
if you approach them in open
Okay.
space.
Because our original plan was to stop when we saw it and have a ship sneak in.
Which is no longer the case, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Okay.
unfortunately, they by the time you saw that and could recognize what was going on, they had obviously already noticed you. Perhaps they have some sort of magic
Yeah.
ship locator,
enough.
or they're just better at seeing in this area.
Mhm.
Because it is for the viewers. Let me switch over to what players can see. It's very very dim.
Lara casts polymorph self on herself, makes herself into an average human.
Okay.
Ah,
How
Yeah.
long does that last?
2 turns per level.
Okay.
I mean, you didn't need to cast it until we're actually going into port, but
But
your discretion.
She has,
There's
she
few
has 2 of those, and
there's few ships coming to heal us.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, I can use my hat disguise.
Like you could stay
Mhm.
below decks and cast it when they get within, like
Did you do anything to disguise me, Leftel?
Do you want to be disguised?
Yes, I don't want
All
to.
right, then. Yeah, no, I will do something with you and the elven officer.
all right.
I will
What
attempt
is
to
your
disguise.
what is your disguise proficiency number?
It is 15 minus 1, 14. I think there are quite varied results depending on how far the margin is on a failure.
All right. Solus is disguised. You can tell, but the nature of Linelius's injuries are making it really difficult to hide what he is.
It also is easier that I'm half elf and not full elf.
Yeah.
I mean, I can just lend in my hat disguise, and I'll just have to use my outer self and change self powers.
Isn't our helmsman also?
Oh,
elf.
sugar. I tried to disguise her. I mean, as long as he keeps a low profile, he should be okay-ish.
Okay.
I mean, if
I
he
mean-
goes really close to someone, then yeah, you'll see through.
I
but
mean, he
from a-
can just stay in the quarters, and we say that there's a really injured person there that needs the rest.
Yeah, but from
And
a
hope they
single-
listen. I mean, there's a limit to what you can do. Like, nothing is ever going to be 100% guaranteed. Ever. So sometimes you just got to make do with the situation at hand. Braxton, they are signaling you. Well, one of them is, I should say. The lead one is
Okay.
signaling you,
Braxton will try to read the message.
and you cannot.
I guess
You gotta
he's
use a
dead.
universal symbol.
Yeah, because they're speaking a funny language.
Did I disguise elf helmsman?
Can Braxton
He
work
tried.
with Lever?
Oh.
Can Braxton work with Lever to translate the message? I don't suppose
No,
she
because
can
she
do
doesn't have
signaling.
signaling, yeah.
Braxton will send a basic message then. This is like fax machines that slow down, isn't it?
All right, give me a signaling proficiency check, please.
Okay. Oh, that's not good.
All right, you try, but you can tell that they're signaling back. Like they're signaling back, and you can just kind of tell by how they're signaling that they have no idea what you're signaling, which is fair because you don't know what they're signaling either.
Yeah.
Once they are close enough to basically that they are about the shouting distance, I will cast tongues.
Okay. Before that, they do finally signal just kind of a universal heave to and stop signal.
Yeah, Braxton will order for the ship to stop.
Okay. All right.
And he'll try and send back a primitive message that says, understood.
Yeah, there is a kind of a universal acknowledgement signal. So you bring your ship to a stop and let them close in. When they're about ready to breach air envelopes, Solus, you cast your tongue spell.
Mm-hmm.
That lasts what, one turn?
One turn.
Okay.
The clerical version.
I assume attempting to disguise people would take time. So
Yeah, you've done it. You've done it on Solus already, though.
all right, yeah, but the elves, I'm still down with them, or
Yeah.
yeah.
Who would be up on deck? Obviously
I
not
Leva.
Lavdal. Leva, you're up on deck.
Yes.
Solus, because you got tongues, I'm assuming you would be as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gonna be there.
All right.
Taka would be up there.
All right. Braxton?
Well, sorry.
You were signaling, so yeah, you would be.
Yeah.
Okay.
What race are they?
You can tell that the creature on the top deck of this small triangular-shaped vessel is a kobold.
Okay, so the priest version of tongues allows me to speak one language plus one additional language per every 3 levels of experience. So I would speak with kobold language
Okay.
and greet them.
You might want to wait until like. I
Yeah,
think
when
Braxton
they are,
Braxton
close
would
enough.
indicate to you that you wait until they
Yeah.
make the.
Translate needed.
Mhm.
Well, no, he would tell you like the rest of the party don't speak until they speak, because
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
clearly
of
in their
course.
territory.
Mhm.
Okay, let's see. Let me just double check something.
I was thinking Braxton would be greeting him in Tinkernote.
Okay. All right. So they breach your air envelope and call out in Goblin.
Okay, then I will respond in Goblin.
Okay. From now on, make sure you specify the languages that you want when you cast a spell.
Mhm.
I'll let you be a little flexible here. They call out, Hail vessel, you approach Port Karthok. State your business.
Did we prepare any kind of what we would tell them?
I think we were generally just gonna say that we're here to resupply and
Trade.
yeah.
you would have
stuff
to
like that.
mention what port we're out of from, which is a problem.
No, because we can say a port from somewhere else.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess. Definitely suspicious.
Well, I will respond that we are here to trade and resupply, and that we are the blade out of
Tell them New Atari. Tell them New Atari.
out of Nuitari.
And you're not mentioning the Cosmic Storm at all?
I will mention that the cosmic storm threw us here, so we are a bit off course.
Okay. The small vessel, Braxton, give me a carpentry check, please.
Okay. Carpentry is 16.
All
So
So you'd
Sure.
estimate that these small vessels are 2 tons.
right.
There are at least 5 or 6 kobolds on this thing that you can see. There are some viewports in the front. It does have an enclosed deck and an upper deck with a light catapult up there. And the second vessel is kind of staying further back.
Yeah.
To
That's
retreat.
good.
I will mention that we encountered friendly kobold traders that directed us to this port.
The kobolds will respond. Oh, quite far off course. Well, if you are interested in trade, Port Karthok is more than happy to trade with you. We are one of the exclusive locations for arcane materials here in Chthon space. He seems quite proud of that, and when he says arcane, you realize arcane the merchants, the race.
Mm.
Yeah.
I will tell this to the rest of the party.
Arcane's
Braxton.
useful then.
Braxton will not.
Solas responds, that is very good to hear. Trading with arcane is always beneficial.
We have not seen a vessel of your sort before. He kind of looks over the people who are on deck, which is going to be, I'm assuming, humans and GIF other than the PCs.
Yeah.
Okay. He says, we do not get too many humans passing through here, but you are welcome to dock. The fees will be assessed upon docking. Cargo offloaded for sale will be inspected. Do you have any special needs that we need to be aware of?
Do we have really any special needs?
I don't think so.
Technically,
we want-
prisoners
we want-
are a special need.
We won't. Well, we're not gonna. If they're not.
Yeah,
gonna-
if we're not emitting it, then just
Yeah.
don't get caught.
They only said that cargo that is offloaded for selling is inspected.
Yeah.
And special need, you kind of gather that he means, like, do you need special types of food? Do you need special types of liquid? You know, that kind of thing.
I think we manage with the normal food and liquid.
Yeah.
You
Our
say
only special
normal to
needs will be some
We should
flood maps.
ask. Yeah, we should ask if we can. If there's a place we can buy like star charts here.
Yeah, I will ask about if they have any star charts, since we are quite off course and these are unfamiliar space to us.
what's the currency? Oh, actually, no, we know.
We can.
Yeah, we were told gold.
We can. There are shops that you can purchase such things. If you will follow me into the berthing, the taxes are the docking fee is 1 electrum piece per ton, water service 1 silver piece per 5 tons, and air tax 2 silver pieces per ton. You do not have fouled or deadly air, so that will not incur an extra fee. Is that satisfactory? You'd realize that that's pretty similar to what Brawl charges.
Yeah, I relay the information and also answer back that that does sound satisfactory. I do ask if there's a how many, or is this basically ask the more about the details about the trading port while we are talking about.
He kind of like most of your general questions. He's gonna kind of pawn off and say that can be answered when you get into the port.
Yeah.
He's like his job is to guide you into the berth and stuff like that.
Yeah, I will ask this from him that we are not that familiar with your languages, so we have to use magic to translate. Is that going to be a problem if we have to cast these spells around the town?
That will be an issue. I would recommend that you look for a translator that speaks a language that you're familiar with while you're in town.
Okay.
Leva interjects and asks, does everybody speak the illicit trade tongue?
Are
She says
you saying that
illicit-
in the Illithid trade tongue?
Yes, because otherwise she can't make herself known. Understood.
Oh, yes. Well, not everyone, but shopkeepers should be able to handle that language.
Okay.
Okay. I think we then tell them to lead the way.
Okay. So he turns back and starts shouting to the crew on his ship in Kobold. So you realize that he greeted you in Goblin,
Mm-hmm.
but he's speaking to his crew in Kobold. And
Oh.
since you've chosen that as a language, it's just kind of like directing them to get ready to guide you into a berth, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It's usual stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. So you are guided towards this this port. You can see also, like as you come in, most of the buildings are smaller than you would expect, given that it does appear that this is primarily a kobold enclave. You can, as you close in, you're getting ready to dock. You can see kobolds everywhere, as well as a few other races. But down at the docks, especially, it is primarily kobold. There are some larger buildings further up the asteroid. Most of these buildings are made out of stone. You also see that the nature of this asteroid, there are some cliff-like structures on it, and there's clearly tunnels and paths along this cliff. So there's clearly maybe mines or living caverns or something like that as well, in addition to all these buildings.
Solas also estimates that they most likely grow mushrooms.
Yes, although this asteroid itself doesn't seem to have too much of that. You can see on the the two columns, like now at this point, above you and below you. You're close enough to see that there are definitely mushroom forests of some sort there.
Mm-hmm.
So you're guided in, and there is a large building near the dock that has dry dock facilities, ship construction facilities, and there's a number of ships under construction there. And as you're being guided in and tying your ship off and everything like that, a small group of kobolds comes out of this like in a rush, and they're chattering away to each other in kobold. By this point, your tongue spell has expired.
Okay.
They're chattering away to each other and pointing at your ship. Braxton, you recognize exactly what they're doing. They're discussing the
Yeah.
construction of your ship.
Yeah.
And they're like you can tell from your
Inspired.
own experience. They're like you've seen this kind of experience activities from other people in the Shipwrights Guild on Brawl and stuff like that. When a brand new ship has come into port, they're like, how did they make that? Oh wow, that's a neat thing on that ship. All that kind of thing. So these are clearly shipwrights that have come out.
Is there anything Braxton could do to indicate it's a shipwright?
Not right now, because you're still being tied off and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they're not that close. They're not like right on the dock. They're farther enough away to not interfere with if you had cargo to unload or anything like that. They're not interfering with that.
Yeah.
One of them definitely looks pretty old. Not that you have much experience with kobolds at all, but he's got like this shock of white hair on his head and is a bit hunched over. Although he doesn't seem to be the leader of this group. But otherwise, it's kind of like all ages. Once you get tied off, a kobold comes up, and this is one that Laftel you'd want to cast your no customs on. This does look like someone, an official of some sort. You're guessing at this point that he's coming up to take the pay for docking fees and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. I relay as many customs as I can quickly as I can.
Okay.
Anything useful, if it were.
So he gets a saving throw, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the customs that you get are there's a number of standard ones, but there's also some very strange ones. I'm not too concerned about the specifics of it, but it will allow you to make the appropriate choices, and you can occasionally query me as like, do I know about this from the no customs and stuff like that.
I mean, it's only generally going to apply mostly to me, but I mean, if I'm using my tongues, I get +1 to my reaction, I suppose.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
I mean, the best I can hope for is to make sure no one in the party gets a negative reaction from not knowing customs.
Yeah. I will also say that you don't have etiquette, right?
No.
If you ever did get
Arca
etiquette,
does.
right? But this is
Yeah.
because it would be essentially more intuitive to you. If you ever got etiquette, I would give you bonuses if you cast no customs.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, you know the customs of the etiquette.
Yeah. It might be something I might eventually take.
All right, so let me go ahead and calculate the fees. The docking fee is daily, he would have told you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's see. So that's going to come out to 35 gold pieces for the docking fee, and that's going to need to be paid daily.
Has anyone taken it down, or should I get that after the game?
It's
Down.
up to you.
Levels.
And the air tax and water service is going to be 154 silver pieces. And that's just one time.
Okay. You
So
said
let's not-
154. 154 silver.
Yes, 154 silver.
Okay.
So let's not stay too long in the port, or it's going to be expensive.
Yeah. Especially considering I'm not used to having such a big ship. Probably. What's the biggest ships we see around here then?
So you
Bigger
see a
than
couple
ours?
ships. You see a couple ships like the one that you saw, the trader, the angel ship.
Mhm.
You see a number of small, the triangular ones that came to greet you. They're not like docked up as where you are. They're actually over in a separate section that's kind of walled off. You saw
Probably
that as you were coming in.
military.
As you were coming in, you also saw an octopus in there.
Ah,
Mm.
Other ships, you see a porcupine, which you've faced before. It's a round,
Goblin one.
goblin round ship.
That was an
There's
interesting
one
fight in there.
shaped like a scorpion. There's a hammer ship as well, and those are the only ones that are in port right now that you recognize. But they're clearly a hammer ship. While not as tall, it is wide and long, so they can definitely take ships like yours. Angel ships are really wide. So that dockmaster comes up to assess your fees, and Leva, you'd be able to just speak to him in the Illithid trade tongue to handle that transaction.
Okay.
After taking the fees, he says, and he's kind of gruff, let's get this over with and get this taken care of. I got other things I need to do. And he says, do you have any cargo that needs to be offloaded? I need to know how many longshoremen you need.
Leva turns around to the others and translates that to them.
I don't think we have any cargo to offload.
We're not
We are
uploading
mostly
anything.
buying. We are buying mostly.
Yeah, we're just buying and resupplying.
Yeah, she passes that on. Mostly buying.
All
So you
buying.
need supplies. Well, supplies you can... he gives you a couple locations, couple stores that you can go to.
Ask about the arcane.
He recommends...
Where's the embassy?
hold on. He recommends Gorvak's Supply, and he gives you some basic directions.
Go back supply.
Yep, Gorvak Supply. He says, if you have coinage that you need to change from Outer Sphere, you can go to Morgoth Exchequer. He'll take care of it.
Can you
And
give us the names afterwards?
yeah, I can give you the names afterwards.
Thank you.
And if you need to see the arcane, the arcane supply shop, he gives you the basic directions up there, and you realize that's a pretty tall tower building up there with a wide base. If you need repairs, you can get that done. Actually, you know what? I just realized that I was giving you stuff for the wrong town. My bad. Hold on a second.
While
Yeah,
you're doing that, Leva asked the guy that this
so
person.
quick mind wipe.
Leva asks the
Yeah, go ahead.
Leva asks the person whether there's a library around.
Let me give you the correct shops first.
Okay. Were the ships okay?
Were the ships okay?
Yeah, you gave us some ships. You said there were 4 ships in town. And then you said some information. Then you said I've given you the wrong information.
Yeah, the wrong information was the shops.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So instead he recommends Turzok's goods for supplies.
Oh, well, definitely need that afterwards.
But there is still an arcane supplies shop. And then he says, if you need if you need the repairs done, he kind of points to some of the damage that your ship has sustained. You can go to the Protector's docks. They handle it cheaper than anywhere else in the sphere.
Get a quote.
No,
No.
we don't want to
you-
find it out.
Yeah, I
maybe.
know. It's just an idea. That was all.
You
If-
get the quote from the shipwrights.
Yes.
Yeah, he doesn't run that place.
Yeah.
And that's the shipyards that are nearby, and they're clearly building some vessels there as well. You do see Braxton, something that could become a tradesman, it's like right at the start, like within a few days of starting. They've laid down like the keel of something that's going to be a tradesman or a squid ship or something like that, something about that
Right.
size. And there's just like kobolds swarming all over that constructing.
Are they using normal wood, or is it some kind of cave wood or fungus?
You would guess that it's some sort of fungus.
They're making ships from fungus. Oh my
I mean,
god!
we are in a huge cave. There's not really that much wood.
Yeah,
I know.
It's a very fibrous, woody
Fungus.
fungus. Yeah.
I think Braxton needs to discover the properties of this fungus.
Shockingly, it's going to be the exact same as normal wood.
Damn.
Shockingly. So he gives you some basic directions to a couple taverns as well, and then says, if you need more, there are signs about the docks to help outsiders find their way. And then he turns around and leaves, and you kind of realize you're probably not going to be able to read those signs.
Yeah.
Unless you have cast a read language beforehand.
Well, yes.
Leva has 2 of those for today.
That's good. But we're going to be wrapping it up here as you've just arrived at the port. There's kobolds everywhere. You've gotten the directions to the shops, so you can go visit them and get supplies that you need next time.
Cast a couple of spells just so they're just done. It was a 2-shaped woods. One to repair, another one to reinforce.
Sure.
So you can get like a hull point back.
Yeah, go ahead and there's a percentage chance for a second hull point.
Yeah, 70%.
Okay. Go ahead and give me 1d100. Alright, so 2 hull points repaired. That does use up 2
units of wood.
2 tons of wood, yes.
Yeah. Hang on. So wood. Where have we got the wood?
But it saves the time.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's 2
We
weeks
still
off.
need more.
I've added the hull
Repair?
points. Yeah, we got one more hull point to repair.
Okay. Finn has a shapewood as well.
Okay. I'm gonna say that you do this in port, though, by the way. Because that's when you're asking me about it.
Hmm.
Okay.
Say kobolds are fasted. They're cheating.
All right, so when we come back next time, you'll have an opportunity to explore this this port town and see what services it has to offer. See what dangers it holds and what trouble you guys can get into.
So
Never.
is Finn's attempt being done next week?
No, it'll be you can get
The one whole point repair was in automatic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's fully repaired. Your ship is fully repaired.
Did Finn's sleep thing wear off?
No, that has
been
not
like
worn off
two-
on the prisoners yet.
I wasn't sure of the durations on that, and I could see that being forgotten if it wasn't kept track of.
Nope, I got it written down. Okay,
It's
so
been another day, hasn't it? So I can.
it's. I
when
mean,
we were traveling.
yes, but for the purposes of what?
I was going to reduce my temporary healing potions.
Okay,
Contact home power
yeah.
by 1.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, let's see. That is going to be 500 XP for everyone.
Oh, that's more than I was expecting.
I mean, you set up a brig and finally got underway.
I'm not
Explore
keeping
this
track
sphere.
of Sacred Guardian because I'm constantly memorizing it and
Yeah.
just constantly ticking it off.
That's fine.
No, I just meant I thought you'd been generous.
What did we get? Just 500.
Yep.
Right. Cool.
Actually, Leva.
Hmm?
Sending is a 5th level spell, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Nah. Just a moment. Yes.
250 XP.
Oh, thank you.
You know that old kobold that was a shipwright?
Mm-hmm.
Can Braxton wave a hammer at him?
Wait until next time.
Okay.
You need to do the traditional shipwrights welcoming dance
Yeah.
while shaking hammer and saw.
You can try to interact with him next time. So
Okay.
we'll be back next week. See what trouble the party can get into. I want to thank you guys.
For fourth level spells.
I'm sorry.
No XP for fourth level spells.
What 4th level spell did you cast?
Clerical tongue.
No. Actually, that
Oh,
would
but
be
no.
that would be for your deity. So, yeah, 200 XP to your
Oh,
cleric.
yeah, you did.
No, that
Thank
it makes sense for your
Yeah, it's about
For your
learning
priest.
languages.
priesthood.
Well, not just learning, but communicating,
All right, so
especially.
we'll be back next week. I want to thank everyone out there for watching, and thank you guys for playing. See you then, everyone.
Thanks,
Thanks for the game.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
the game.
Take care, everyone.
Thanks for everyone watching.